Okay, chat. The first vid that we're gonna be wait before we do this. Let me make sure something. Okay, hopefully my shit is working right. Hopefully everything working right. The first vid that we're gonna watch today, chat, is when humans first started smoking.
Smoke from the wrong plant drifts your way.
Let's rewind that. Let's turn this up so y'all can hear it a little better. Feel me? Gotta get y'all boys right. Turn myself up a little bit. Turn this up. All right, three, two,
Close your eyes for a second.
back.
No phone, no language, no yesterday, no tomorrow. You're crouching in Africa,
Right.
300,000 years ago. The
Okay.
fire is low. Smoke from the wrong plant drifts your way. You inhale, not on purpose, and something shifts. Your brain says one thing loud and clear, do that
Wait a
again.
minute. So you're telling me
That
the
moment
first thing that they like noticed about well, not noticed, but the first like shit was a plant was on fire and they smelt it and it fucking okay.
is where the story begins. Because
Okay.
ever since then, humans have been chasing that feeling in every civilization we've ever built. So the
Mm.
real question isn't why smoking is bad. The real question is why humans ever started inhaling smoke at all. The
Right.
answer starts 1 million years ago in a Wonder Work
Damn.
cave, South Africa.
Niggas been smoking
Archaeologists
for a
found
million years, bro. Nah, that's crazy.
ash residue from a controlled fire inside a sheltered space. Not a wildfire, not an accident. A fire that was deliberately maintained and used daily. This wasn't Homo sapiens. This was Homo erectus. Smaller brain, heavier brow, zero written language, but they had fire. And every single night, they sat around it.
Okay.
Here's what most people never think about. Fire doesn't just produce heat and light. When
Right.
organic matter burns, it releases chemical compounds, alkaloids, terpenes, volatile molecules that float in smoke and, when inhaled, interact with the human nervous system.
Okay.
Some are harmless, some are not.
Mm.
Some are profoundly psychoactive. Early humans didn't choose campsites based on nearby plant life. They chose based on shelter, water, safety. Which means sometimes the wood on the fire came from plants that released things their brains weren't ready for. The first time
Oh.
that happened, nobody understood it. Someone just felt different, lighter, strange, maybe frightened, probably both. They had no idea why. But here's the thing people forget about our ancestors. They were us, without the accumulated knowledge. They noticed patterns, they connected cause and effect.
True.
And somewhere, around some fire, one of them made the connection. That plant, that smoke, that feeling, that observation. Not a plan, not a decision, just an accident noticed by a curious mind, might be the most consequential moment in human history. But smoke wasn't the only thing fire was doing to the human brain.
Right.
Something else was happening every single night. Here's something researchers
What you
discovered
mean?
that almost never leaves academic papers. Fire didn't just feed us, didn't
Right.
just protect us. It rewired.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Another thing about fire, bro. Every single animal in the world knows about fire, bro. Like every animal knows to stay away from fire, bro.
How we
Which is
sleep.
crazy.
Before fire, our ancestors slept like every other primate, in trees, in short fragmented bursts, always
Nigga, we slept in trees. I ain't gonna lie, I did not know that. Niggas slept in trees is crazy.
half alert. Sleep was a liability. You couldn't afford to go deep when something might eat you. Then fire arrived. With flames burning at the edge of camp, predators kept their distance. The dark, which had been lethal, became manageable. For the first time in our evolutionary history, a human body could lie on the ground and actually relax. And something shifted. Modern humans sleep less than almost any other primate. Chimps get around 10 hours, orangutans closer to 11. We average 7 to 8. But the
Hmm.
quality is completely different. We spend dramatically more time in REM sleep, the deep phase linked to memory consolidation, emotional processing, and
Okay.
vivid immersive dreaming.
Okay.
Researchers at Harvard proposed that fire caused this. Once ground level
Fire
sleep became
caused this.
safe, evolution could optimize for depth over duration. A brain spending more time
So fire allowed us to sleep safely on the ground.
in states that were neither waking nor fully unconscious. And here's where it connects to everything else. REM sleep is neurologically an altered state. Your
Right.
brain during REM looks almost nothing like your waking brain.
Okay.
Certain regions go quiet, others fire in patterns that don't happen during normal consciousness. You
Right.
lose track of time. You experience vivid, emotionally overwhelming things that feel completely real while they're happening. The people sitting around those fires weren't just accidentally inhaling psychoactive smoke. They were also, every single night, experiencing the deepest altered states their nervous systems could produce, states that fire had made possible. Dreams were the
Ah,
first altered state. Fire made them possible. And when those same people woke from vivid, emotionally raw dreams, and then sat next to that same fire and breathed smoke that shifted their perception, the two experiences would have mapped onto each other in a way that felt significant. Not
right.
the same, but related. Both
Ah.
happened at the edge of the firelight. Both left you with the feeling that something important had occurred.
Okay, but when do we start actually rolling up ganja? When do we start rolling up gas? You know what I'm saying? Like, when was that a thing? When were we actually rolling up the grass? That's what
Even
I
if you
want to know.
couldn't say what. The fire was the bridge between those two worlds. But what exactly was triggering those first waking experiences? The answer is already inside your brain. It's been there
Okay.
your whole life. Your brain contains something called the endocannabinoid system. It regulates mood, memory, appetite, stress response, fundamental to how you function as a living organism. This system has receptors that respond to cannabinoids. Here's the
Right.
part that should stop you cold. Those receptors did not evolve because of cannabis. They evolved
Mm.
for entirely internal purposes. Cannabis just happens to produce compounds that fit them almost perfectly. So the
Okay.
first time a human inhaled smoke from burning cannabis, and cannabis grows wild across large parts of Africa, Asia,
Okay.
and Europe, their brain didn't have a confused reaction. It had a familiar one. The receptors were already there. The
Ah.
compounds simply activated them in a way that
What?
was, to put it mildly,
Wait
very
a minute.
noticeable. Noticeable enough to remember.
So
Noticeable
our
enough to try again. This
so
isn't
our
someone trying to make
brain.
ancient history sound exciting.
Why is it not
It's a
pausing?
legitimate hypothesis, backed by researchers
Yeah, why is my
across
video not
multiple
pausing?
fields.
So basically, our brains were already meant not meant to smoke, but it's kind of like our brains is already made to like understand smoking before it was. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, it fucking brought me all the way back.
Exposure to psychoactive smoke. Close your eyes for it. In one, here's something researchers discovered. Your brain contains something called the Great Salt Lake Desert, Utah. Your brain contains something called the endocannabinoid
There
system.
we go.
It regulates noticeable enough to try again. This isn't someone trying to make ancient history sound exciting. It's a legitimate hypothesis, backed by researchers across multiple fields.
Right.
Given where early humans lived, exposure to psychoactive smoke wasn't a remote possibility. It was essentially inevitable. The question isn't whether it happened. The question is, when did they start doing it on purpose? We have a
Ah,
fairly
yes.
specific answer. It comes from a burial site in the mountains, the Pamir Mountains, 500 BC. A burial site, ancient wooden braziers,
This is what I
shallow
want to know.
bowls on legs, built to hold hot stones,
Right?
residue from cannabis plants, with unusually high
Oh,
concentrations of THC. This wasn't rope fiber, wasn't industrial hemp. Someone specifically selected cannabis for its
nigga,
psychoactive
that shit
potency
was
and placed it at a
weed.
ritual burial, deliberately, with enough knowledge of what they were doing that they chose the stronger variety. Modern chemistry confirmed it.
And they knew what the stronger strands was. Okay. So them boys had strands back then. Okay. I like that. Not only that my boys was out there smoking, they had strands they was hitting. Yes.
We can test the
Yes.
residue. We know what was there.
Yes.
This is the oldest direct physical evidence of
That's
intentional
crazy
smoking
though.
currently on record. Here's the
What?
problem with that sentence. Physical evidence requires physical survival.
Okay.
Organic material, plant fibers, wooden pipes, leather pouches,
Mhm.
disintegrates. A few centuries in normal soil and it's gone. What we
Right.
find at these sites isn't what existed, it's what happened to survive. Those are very different things. When we say the oldest evidence is 2,500 years ago, what
Uh-huh.
we actually mean is the oldest evidence that lasted long enough for us to find. The practice itself is almost
Oh.
certainly far, far older. How much older? Try 12,000 years. In Utah, the Great Salt Lake Desert, Utah, a hearth 12,000 years old. Inside it, seeds from a wild tobacco species native to North America, not scattered randomly, concentrated, in a pattern that suggests deliberate placement, no pipes, no pottery, just seeds, in a fire 12,000 years ago.
Okay.
That pushes intentional tobacco use back by thousands of years past previous estimates, and it raises a question you can't unhear once you've heard it. If people
What?
in North America were placing tobacco seeds into fires 12,000 years ago,
Right.
what were people on other continents doing with their local
Exactly. I knew exactly when he said that he was about to ask that shit, bro. Cause look, bro, North America's always the last to some shit, bro. I've never heard shit about us doing anything first, bro. They're always the last to do some shit, bro. Look, my nigga, if we was smoking that long ago, bro, these niggas was smoking double that amount of time. Them niggas in Africa, them niggas was geeking in Africa. Jamaica, you know them niggas was geeking in Jamaica. South America, them niggas was tweaking up. I don't know what the hell this shit is, but Europe, I don't know. I feel like Europe was geeking up. Well, wait. What is he? Wait, what did he say was first?
estimates. And it raises a question you can't unhear once
Right.
you've heard it. If people in North America were
Yeah,
placing
North America.
tobacco
Yeah,
seeds
yeah,
into
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fires 12,000 years ago,
Right, and look, they wasn't even smoking on the actual like shits. They was putting tobacco. You heard him. Seeds, just the seeds in the fire. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, imagine that. Imagine everywhere in the world, everybody got the real flower. They got for me bad tobacco, mad gas, and then you come back to your shit. Oh, y'all got us some fucking tobacco seeds, nigga. What the fuck? Like, all we got is seeds, gang. Seeds. Come on, gang. I feel like I don't know. I'd be a little bit upset if all I had was motherfucking seeds. But look at this shit though. I know niggas was geeking up back then, bro. I know it, bro.
on other continents doing with their local psychoactive plant.
Especially motherfucking South America, bro. I know they ass was getting off the gas, boy. Jamaica, I know they ass was off the
At the
gas,
exact
boy.
same time.
Wait, whoa, wait, hold on. I didn't even read that. Did that shit just say what they were smoking on? Word two, bro. It shows them. It shows us what they were smoking on. Oh my god, North America. These niggas was smoking sage. I don't know if they was inhaling that motherfucker, but they was off the sage. San Pedro cactus. These motherfuckers was smoking cactus, gang. They was rolling that cactus weed. A boga. I don't know what that is. Kava. I heard kava. Handbag. Wait, isn't this shit all like shit that can help you like hemp type shit? Like I heard kava like you can smoke that or like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like good plants, like healthy plants, like plants that fucking heal you or some shit like that.
Time.
I think
Because
that's what them shits
12,000
is.
years ago, humans were everywhere. Sub
Right,
Saharan Africa,
right,
Southeast Asia,
right.
Europe, Australia, different plants, same brain. A Greek historian
Facts.
described exactly what was happening, and nobody believed him for 2,000 years. Herodotus was a Greek historian writing in the 5th century BC. He
Mm-hmm.
traveled widely. He documented what he saw, and for centuries, scholars read him with a kind of respectful suspicion. Interesting observations, possibly embellished. One of those observations? The Scythians. He described them building small enclosed tents, heating stones until they glowed, throwing hemp seeds onto those stones, and sitting inside breathing the smoke. He wrote that they
Yo. So back then they wasn't rolling it up. They was just hotboxing that shit. They would literally just throw the seed. That makes more sense now on why they were smoking seeds. Motherfuckers was just go grab them gelato seeds. Get the spray. Boom. Put that bitch in a pot. Mix that bitch up. They wait till that shit hot. Boom. Put the motherfucking go in the tent. They hotboxing that shit. That makes sense though.
howled with pleasure. Historians assumed he was exaggerating, probably
I ain't
describing a
gonna lie.
steam bath, adding drama to an otherwise dry account. Then archaeologists excavated Scythian burial mounds. They found bronze braziers. They found
Wow.
heated stones. They found hemp residue, exactly what Herodotus described. He wasn't dramatizing, if anything, he was underreporting. The man watched a group of Scythians get intensely high in a hemp smoke tent and wrote about it as faithfully as he could. And for 2,000 years, people
I feel like motherfuckers that did know how to roll up back then was motherfucking either they shits was bad rolls and ugly looking rolls, or they shit was the most beautiful wrapped shits ever. They probably was using like certain types of leaves and shit to roll their shit. Oh my god. They probably had the best shit back then. I ain't gonna lie.
decided he must have gotten it wrong. The lesson isn't about Herodotus. It's about how much of the ancient world we still misunderstand, and how
Right.
often what we're confident we know turns out to be backwards.
Mm.
Now, tobacco. and why everything you think you know about it is reversed.
Oh shit.
Tobacco is native to the Americas, which
Okay.
means until 1492, the entire Old World had never encountered it. Columbus noted in his
Wow.
journal, within weeks of arrival, that the indigenous people he met walked around carrying small burning sticks,
Uh-huh.
inhaling the smoke, exhaling it through their mouths and noses. His crew was baffled.
So these the first motherfuckers that was rolling up. That's basically what that nigga just said. Is the Indian wait, I don't want to say Indian, but the native people was the first motherfuckers to be holding sticks and rolling up and fucking smoking and inhaling through their nose and all that shit, bro. The motherfucking natives was the first niggas to do tricks. Them motherfuckers was probably ghosting all types of shit back then.
His crew also started doing it within weeks. Of course they did. But tobacco use in the Americas wasn't new in 1492. Residue analysis in ancient pipes dates it back at least 3,500 years.
Okay.
Some researchers, looking at cultivation patterns in the Amazon basin, put it at 10,000 years or more. Here's what gets lost entirely. Tobacco in ancient America was not recreational. It was
Okay.
sacred. It opened communication with
Ah,
the spiritual world.
that makes
Smoke was
sense.
understood as a living carrier. It carried prayers upward and brought visions back down.
Okay, that do
Blowing
make sense
smoke
though,
on
cause that's their
someone was an
belief.
act of blessing. A
Okay.
shaman who smoked wasn't relaxing, he was doing
Yo,
the
you
most.
heard him? Blowing smoke on somebody back then was an active blessing. Nowadays, niggas will want to fight you over it. Crazy. Oh wait, why did my shit get muted? Hold on.
Tobacco was treated with the reverence you give
Yo, look at
something
that.
you
That's
consider
fire.
genuinely powerful and genuinely dangerous. The idea of smoking while waiting for a bus, that's a European invention, a very recent one that required a
Ah.
specific kind of industrial machinery to even become possible. Before it was
So
sacred, it may have been something.
I don't want to keep pausing this shit, but I'm trying to like you feel me. Basically, long story short, was that the native people had it as a medicine, as a way to like talk to the spirits, as a way to you know what I'm saying, let their spirits fly, bless somebody. And then the Europe seen it, they took it. No, well, they didn't take it, but they seen it, took the idea, rolled it up their own selves, and made it a thing where you're relaxing your body and you know what I'm saying, we're relaxing yourself, waiting for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably why they thought cigarettes were so good back then because they seen that the native people were using it in these ways to heal themselves, talk to the spirits, bless each other. So they probably thinking like, oh, this is you know what I'm saying, because they didn't understand. So they probably like, oh, this is what we need to do to fucking bless ourselves and all this bullshit. And then you know what I'm saying, they just overdid it and probably just started smoking thousands of fucking cigarettes and shit like that.
More fundamental to medicine. The Ebers Papyrus, ancient Egypt, approximately 1550 BC, one of the oldest medical documents ever found. It
Mm,
describes the deliberate inhalation of smoke from specific heated herbs as treatment for throat and respiratory conditions.
right,
The ancient Egyptians were treating respiratory problems by prescribing inhaled smoke. From
right.
our angle, that sounds absurd. From theirs, it was logical. If a plant has therapeutic properties and the lungs are the entry point, smoke is direct delivery. The lungs absorb compounds
Yeah.
efficiently. You're essentially building an inhaler. We still do this. Asthma
Oh,
inhalers work on the same principle.
okay.
Anesthetic gases work on the same principle. The delivery method survived. The burning part mostly
Wow.
didn't. Ancient Indian Ayurvedic medicine,
Wow.
over 3,000 years old,
That's
describes a
actually
formal practice
crazy.
called dhumapana, literally smoke drinking. Specific plants, specific conditions, specific preparation protocols, not improvised. A formalized medical system refined over centuries.
And that
Across
shit
ancient
was
Greece,
working too.
China, Mesopotamia, and India, and in every early documented civilization, there is evidence of deliberate therapeutic smoke inhalation, not as addiction, not as habit, but as medicine. In a
Right.
world without surgery, without antibiotics, without almost anything we'd recognize, a treatment that worked sometimes was worth everything. But there's one more reason humans smoked, and it might be the oldest reason of all.
Why?
Humans are social animals. We evolved in groups. Group
Mmm.
cohesion, the ability to trust each other, to coordinate, to move as a unit,
Yo,
wasn't a preference.
that does like I'm not gonna lie. As a smoker, bro, when you do smoke though, gang, he not lying about that. Cause when you do smoke though, gang, it is a social thing. Like, no funny, like I don't want to say I made friends out of smoking, but I definitely became cool with certain people just off the fact that we smoke. Or like I would hang out with somebody just to go smoke, or you could talk to somebody for a certain amount of time because they smoke. And y'all can relate to smoking, and you could talk about the shit that you smoke and how you smoke and when you smoke, where you smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like it is definitely a socializing fucking thing, which is crazy. A very socializing thing. Same with like cigars, especially cigars. Cigars are a very socialized thing, but I mean, yeah, that's like you're not lying. That's like the biggest and oldest thing about smoking it's a socialized thing. They got fucking weed events, 420, all types of shit.
It was survival. Modern neuroscience has found something striking. Shared rituals synchronize neural activity between participants. They measurably increase trust. They deepen group identity in ways that are biochemically real, not metaphorical. When a group of early humans sat together in an enclosed space and collectively entered an altered state through shared smoke, something was happening beyond what the compounds were doing to individual brains. The group was bonding in a way that was extremely hard to replicate through any other means available to them. Shared intense experience creates a specific quality of connection: mutual vulnerability, mutual trust, a sense of identity that extends beyond the individual. Anyone who's been through something difficult with other people
Mm-hmm.
understands this without needing a study to explain it. The
Right.
ritual smoke circle wasn't just a gathering, it was social infrastructure. It was how you built the kind of trust that let you go into dangerous situations with other people and genuinely believe, they wouldn't leave you behind. That function is probably older than any of the others, older than medicine, older than spiritual use, because group cohesion predates both of those as a survival requirement. And then Europe got hold of
Mm.
tobacco and removed every bit of that context.
And that's why we need to come together. You feel me? You heard it right there. Like that's the best way to survive, okay? I
Within
ain't coming
decades,
together. I ain't coming together. But the world, we should kind of gather, you know what I'm saying? Like, but not me though. Not me though. I don't wanna be together with you fuck niggas. But the world though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
of 1492,
we can
tobacco
make it
had
a
spread
beautiful
across the
place.
old world. Within a century,
No
it was
cap.
traded globally. What indigenous Americans had incorporated into a carefully managed, deeply ritualized practice.
Wow. See, basically, not basically what I was saying, but what I was talking about the Europeans when they took it and they started making this thing where you could just relax and smoke. Like y'all can't see what it says on the very bottom because my thing is there, but it says spiritual, respectful, common. Spiritual, respectful, communal, and sacred. Right, and then the European people got it, and it was profit, commerce, standardized, and global trade. You know what I'm saying? They did this as a practice. They did this as an aid, medical medicine. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers got that shit, and look how different it even looks in the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers, they got it in the pipe. You know what I'm saying? The smoke, the pipe. They got the leaves. They got everything going smooth. In here, this shit's packaged up. It's packaged, it's ready to be sold. You know what I'm saying?
Over thousands of years was turned in European hands into a commodity product in under 4 centuries. By
Wow.
the early 20th century, industrially manufactured cigarettes made tobacco consumption cheaper, more convenient, and more addictive than anything that had come
Wow. They
before.
started adding the
Specific
20 in a
compounds were
pack.
added to accelerate nicotine absorption and speed its clearance from the body, not accidentally discovering the addiction cycle, engineering it. The same plant, the same basic act, completely different relationship to it. A shaman selecting cannabis for potency and placing it on hot stones at a burial site, connecting the living to the dead through shared smoke, that person had almost nothing in common with a tobacco executive in 1960 signing off on campaigns targeting children. Both involved smoke. Almost nothing else was the same. So when did humans actually start smoking? The honest answer is we're still working that out. The physical evidence takes us back 12,000 years with confidence. Exposure to psychoactive smoke from natural fires goes back much further, possibly to
Mm-hmm.
the first sustained use of controlled fire, 1 million years ago. What we know for certain, by the time any human civilization developed writing, smoking was already ancient, already ritualized,
Mm.
already embedded in medicine, spirituality, and social cohesion in ways that implied centuries of practice before anyone thought to write any of it down. The behavior predates agriculture. It predates pottery. It predates every civilization you've ever studied. And the drive underneath it, the drive to seek altered states, to cross the threshold between ordinary experience and something that feels larger,
Right.
that appears to be a fundamental feature of human cognition, not a glitch. Ronald Siegel, a psychopharmacologist at UCLA, proposed that the pursuit of altered consciousness functions essentially as a fourth biological drive, alongside hunger, thirst, and sex. And it's not just humans. Elephants
Right.
seek out fermented fruit. Reindeer in
Hmm.
Siberia eat psychedelic mushrooms and
Fucking elephants eat rotten fruit. What the fuck?
then drink the urine of other reindeer who ate them.
What? Nigga, they do what?
Out fermented fruit. Reindeer in Siberia eat psychedelic mushrooms and then drink the urine of other reindeer who ate them first, because the active compounds survive intact. Reindeer doing drug recycling in Siberia. If this drive is that old, that widespread, that consistent
What
across
the fuck
species,
did I just
it
hear?
doesn't make much sense to treat it as an aberration.
These motherfuckers.
Our ancestors didn't. They built systems around it.
Nah, fuck that. Y'all niggas drinking each other piss. Y'all young bulls nasty, gang. Nah, bro. What's good with y'all Siberian reindeer, bro? You telling me if I'm a Siberian reindeer, I'm gonna eat a mushroom, I'm gonna piss. Y'all gonna drink my piss? Yo, what the fuck going on in Siberia? Fuck no. Y'all motherfucking reindeer is nasty, gang. Fuck no. I wish a motherfucking deer in North America would drink another deer piss. I slap the shit out that deer, nigga. Fuck do you mean you drinking another deer piss, my nigga? What the fuck going on with you, cut? What the fuck going on with you?
Rituals, restrictions, meanings.
That shit
They took something
nasty.
powerful and gave it a context that made it survivable. Then we took the context away. Next time you're near a bonfire and catch that smell, something shifts, something old. Your nervous system picks up a signal it's been processing for 100,000 years. A signal that once meant warmth, safety, community, the edge of a world that was trying to kill you, made briefly manageable
What
by
up, T?
fire. The smoke hasn't changed. What changed is what we decided to do with it. And that chain of decisions, from the shaman's tent to the cigarette machine, is the distance between a thing that helped make us human and a thing that started quietly killing us. Same fire, completely different world.
Wow. That's okay. So motherfuckers been smoking for OD long. It's just once it got to the European hand, that's when it became a thing of profit. That's when trapping became a thing where you out there trapping. Is we all practical? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah, we on practical. Hop on right now. Oh, that would be fire if I was to watch a full movie on live. I think I'm gonna do that. I was just thinking about watching the Hulk versus Wolverine shit. I ain't gonna watch that shit today, but Hulk versus Wolverine movie on live? Hmm. But nah, yeah, we're definitely gonna hop on practical. I'm about to spark my Dutch up though. I had 3 balls. I do want to watch this video. I think I'm gonna save this for the end of stream though. Hop on practical, bro. I'm trying to hit a 400 dubs. Once we go on practical, I'm gonna go on TikTok live. I'm gonna start it. It's ready to start, but I ain't started yet. Let me hear this Nino Pay.
What if I'm different? And as you told me